My name is Patricia Mukayagi. I'm a registered nurse by profession. I studied nursing, public health, and midwifery. I've been a nurse for 31 years. Of course, in different categories, different cadres. I've worked in different institutions until I got to this place where I feel I can be independently employed. So I run my own outfit called Visiting Angels Nursing Agency. I think I'm sure that I am really bold because being a woman and running a business in Kenya is no mean feat. I love people. I love working with people. So I love my patients. I love what I do, and I'm a nurse by choice. It didn't happen by flukes. I love what I do completely. I grew up in Embu County, in Kieni. It's a Kieni location then. And I am a fourth born in a family of 5. I was very, very naughty young girl. And my mom was very hard on me. I think my upbringing was full of discipline. When they talk about the cane, I know how the cane feels. And because of that, my mom also went everywhere with me because she knew this naughty girl, if I leave her at home, she's going to cause a lot of havoc. So, and my mom is a retired nurse. So she went with me, and many times she left me in people's homes to take care of them, especially the elderly. So I remember she went with me and left me in certain homes, and she told me, take care of this old shosh and, you know, bathe her, feed her. And I did that for quite a while as I was growing up. And small wonder that when I finished my Form 6, I chose to be a nurse. I really wanted to be a nurse. My mom discouraged me because she said, you know, many things, being a nurse, she knew. But I felt that I really wanted to do that. So I went into the training and I graduated as a registered community health nurse. And I got into the working space. I went into various hospitals. Many hospitals were not the way they are now. We have come a long way. Many public hospitals did not have facilities, did not have the resources that we needed. So I didn't stay too much in the public sector. I moved to the private sector. I joined the NGO world. I went to Southern Sudan. I was still very young, in my very early 20s. I think I was 21 or something. It was really rough, so I came back very quickly. And then after that, I joined now the mainstream private hospitals. And I was there for a while. And after about 3-4 years, I got married. I started a family. And now I settled. So not much movement anymore. And I remember we went with my family to Mombasa. And I worked there for about 4 years. And we came back to Nairobi. Now, when we came back to Nairobi, we had already started our family. And I was not able to parent and do the too much work at the same time. I wanted to spend quite a bit of time with my children, so I went into the insurance sector. I did medical insurance for about 15 years. And in that, then I grew quite a bit. I went to different schools. I went to Strathmore Business School to do a bit of managing of healthcare businesses. And then I undertook a master's in global aging and policy, which is another story. And started visiting angels as well. That's about 11 years ago. This is our 11th year. Why I started visiting angels is because, first, of course, I needed to start a business because I was beginning to feel I need to do something. And I chose home-based care because you remember how I grew up. I loved going and seeing people in their own homes. So that's what I started. I started home-based care where we provide caregivers and nurses. We do critical care also in the patient's home. So you have a patient, the doctor has told you, look for healthcare professionals who can come to you, and we are those people. So we come to your home and we take care of you in the home. I love it completely. Now, along the way, we got contracted to run a retirement home. A very mzungu retirement home where, they're familiar with what retirement homes are. We still are struggling with that. And that for me was my first exposure to a retirement home. But I found that they were really happy, they were content, they were really very well taken care of. But when I looked at the ones we were taking care of in their homes, there was a disconnect. And I said, who takes care of the old people in this country? What's going on? I really got very curious. And I went to the government offices, I went to the government agencies, I went to the Ministry of Health, I went to NHIF, I went to NSSF, the works. And I remember there was one lady at the Ministry of Labor, Social Protection Department. She told me, Patricia, what you're doing will fit very well if you have a not-for-profit. Then you'll be able to engage in what you're doing now. So we formed a not-for-profit organization called Angels Healthcare Network, which is mainly for advocacy and mobilization, community mobilization for the older persons in the communities. And I started doing that work now, and we formed groups because I wanted to understand what's going on. Am I right? Is there really an issue? Is there something I can do? And I went into the villages, we formed groups of older persons, and I'll be honest with you that it scared me quite a bit. Because the challenges I thought they had those and many more. And I wondered now, how do I do this? And I again went into the offices, and I got into the office of Helpage, and they were very helpful. They held my hand and they told me, they exposed me to the space of older persons. And I started working with the State Department of Social Protection, the geriatric unit in Ministry of Health. I got other stakeholders. I met now my partners, my colleagues who are also doing different things in the space of older persons. And along the way, I got a Commonwealth scholarship to do my master's now in aged care from the University of Southampton in the United Kingdom for 2 years. That again opened my world. And it gave me the boldness to now engage the space of older persons the way I wanted to. Now, combining those two, my experience in visiting angels and the Angels Healthcare Network experience, I felt so confident that I can now take care of older persons. I am completely familiar with it. I know we don't have many resources around here, but the people that I met at the university, some of them are here, they're in Kenya. We are not many. I know we are not many, but we do something. Everybody is doing something in their own space. And we joined what we call the Kenya Association of Geriatrics and Gerontology, which is an association that puts together the stakeholders who are working in the space of older persons. So we have sociologists, we have educationists, we have doctors, we have nurses, we have psychologists. Everybody who is working in the space of older persons is in there. And through the time, we have been working together and seeing how can you fulfill whatever it is you're doing through the association or even in your own field. So what now meant for us as angels, as visiting angels, is that we were beginning to build expertise on caring for older persons. And that way, we have been known now in the market as specialists in management of, in the care of older persons. And that has led us to what we are doing now, not only home care, but we are training caregivers who now are specialized in taking care of older persons. It is a 6-month course, 4 months theory and 2 months practicals. And it is drawing a lot of attention. We are very, very excited that this group will be graduating around September, October. And as I look at them now and how they came in, I cannot imagine. One thing I know I have been able to infect them with is my passion of taking care of older persons. And it's really exciting when you see people beginning to speak your language. Then you know that they'll be able to take care of the older persons when they go out there with passion and care and compassion, really. My main purpose and passion is, remember I'm a nurse, so it's caring. And ensuring that the next person gets out of their difficult situation with dignity, especially for the older persons. Let me say it's a global problem that older persons are treated in a really, really inhumane way. In some countries, and Kenya is no exception, we get older persons that are abused in all forms. It's either physical abuse or financial abuse, emotional abuse, even sexual abuse. Whatever it is that I can do to tilt that and make even my own space when I age to be better, then I'll do it. I've learned many lessons. The first one is really follow your heart. Even if you're moving against the grid, just keep going. Number two is that there's a purpose for everyone. The day you identify your purpose, I think is the day you start living. And the other one is that it doesn't matter what people think or say about what you're doing. Even if you're the only one doing it, look for what you need to be good at it. Do it and get along with it. With 11 years of experience, you can imagine, how we have, the challenges have evolved. The first one that I got was looking for business. So I've got this passion, yes, I'm very excited, and I know there are patients in people's homes, but how do you get them? How do you even build a business? Okay, I had attended the course in Strathmore Business School, but that was it. I needed the business. And I knew, because I was in the medical insurance, I knew that there was, number one, there was a lot of business in the insurance industry, but there was no awareness. So I took it upon myself to move from one insurance industry, company to the next, educating them on what it is that home-based care is, creating an awareness, showing them what advantages, what benefits they have when their clients are on home-based care. And I'm glad that we were able to do that. And right now, almost all insurance companies have the home care component in their benefit. For that, I'm really, really excited. Of course, over time, other competitors came in and took that business, but it's all right. The fact that our Kenyans have that component of home-based care in their inpatient benefit, for me, it's a big win. Then, of course, the next one was now the business dynamics. Doing business is extremely expensive in Kenya. You know what you have to pay, the licenses, the rent, the salaries, even training. Because I wanted my nurses to be of a certain caliber. And yes, they have the basic nursing, but what about customer service? How do they manage a patient who is at home? It's only you and him, or you and her and their family. How do you do that? So I had to really train my staff to be able to offer that service at the level that I needed. Of course, after a while, some of them went and opened their own businesses and, did what it is that we were doing, which again is okay, because I am really hoping, and I have heard some of them say that they are offering good service. And I hope they are. I'm proud of that. Of course, the issue of COVID came and it was really difficult. I know people say, yeah, in home-based care, you people made a lot of money. But I'll tell you what, we want to make money in a good environment. Not when you're asked for a machine in the morning to take to a certain home and they call you after 2 hours and they tell you, Patricia, no need for the machine, the guy has passed on. No, not that kind of business, So COVID was very, very difficult. Many times we were called at midnight. I was called at midnight by my nurses. We've run out of oxygen. We do not have electricity. Can you imagine traversing Nairobi at 4 a.m. with a tank full of oxygen? Even our own security was really compromised. But we thank God that everything went well. I'm happy COVID is gone. We are back to managing normal illnesses, and I think that is good enough. Then, of course, now with the elections, I'm sure you've heard it said that the Kenyan economy is a 5-year economy, and that is true. Because I remember in 2016, we had a real slump in business, and we are experiencing the same thing now. It's a 5-year economy. If really there's something that our government can do to get rid of that, That would really, really help us. I would define success as an all-round, from an all-round perspective. You cannot isolate one part of your life and say that I am successful. Many people, and I'm sure probably I've also fallen in that bracket at some point, is when you have a lot of money, then you think you're very successful. But I don't think so. I think there are very many successful people. It's only that they do not know they are successful. Only when they talk about their issues, then they are told by somebody else, I think you're very, very successful. It's not so much the money. Money is good, but again, what about your social life? How about your spiritual life? How about your health? There are so many components, and you cannot have everything at the same time. But how are you managing with what you've got? For me, I believe if you've got like 55% in all the aspects, I think you're pretty well successful. Things that I wished that I had learned earlier about life is that life is really simple. Life is very simple. We complicate it with so many other aspects that as you age, you realize it was never that serious. I should have done it in an easier way. I shouldn't have put too much pressure on myself, because as long as you're focused and you're moving in the right direction. Someone once said, you don't have to run all the time. You can run, you can walk, you can crawl, but keep moving. For as long as you're moving, you will get there. In terms of business, let me add something about life. Family comes first. Your family is what you need, and that is what I could die for. Family is very, very important. I'll tell you something, that in my experience, when people, and I'm talking now of my experience, not what people have read or what I have read. When someone is on their deathbed, and I'm sure you probably have heard this, the thing that crosses their mind is their families. They ask, where's my daughter, where's my son, where's my nephew, where's my niece, they are talking about their family. I am yet to come across someone who says, where are my employees? How come my employees don't come to see me anymore? I haven't seen that. Not because they don't mind about their employees, but right now, the most important thing is their families. And true to it, when their families are around them, it's a much easier time. Even if they are passing on, they pass on with more peace, and you can tell everybody is rallying around them and they are together. On business, I should have started it earlier. It's really, it's an exciting thing, but you've got to know what you're doing. You must have your skills, you must you must acquire the knowledge and the skills that you need to run that business. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. At least get to know how do you do your bookkeeping, what is profit, what is loss. You know, how do I make my services better? Don't get too scared by competition. Competition is very good because it actually hones your skills even better. To all the women, keep going. It's not easy being a woman. Whether you have a family of your own or not, being a woman in itself sets you at a certain level in the community. And do not accept what people tell you that you cannot do it. There's nothing you cannot do. You can do it. I know when we start families, we get a bit confused. Is it the office? Is it the school? Where do I do? Where do I go? I need to run to the school games. I need to go for the sports day. And yes, all those are ours. But plan around it. And then do not forget yourself. Keep yourself looking good. Keep yourself feeling high. Exercise and eat well. It doesn't matter what people around you think about you. Have self-confidence. Even if it means undertaking courses for self-awareness, confidence and mental health, make sure your mental health comes first. I know women, we go through a lot. We go through a lot of depression. We ask ourselves, how is it my people don't appreciate me, my children don't appreciate me, my husband doesn't appreciate, nobody seems to appreciate. No. Appreciate yourself. Feel good about yourself. Do that which makes you feel good. Because when you, as a woman of that home or as a woman, are feeling good and are well, are healthy and are taking care of yourself, that psyche, that vibe spreads to the people around you. You find us visiting angels at the Karen village. We are just before Masai Boys at the Karen village. On your way to Bulbul, just after Karen, you see Karen village on your left of Ngong Road. And we are doing, our offices are there, and our school is also there. You can come and have a feel of what it is we are doing. Talk to the students and find out whether what we have said we are doing is actually what we are doing. And then we are also preparing these students to be good ambassadors of care for older persons. We are not only training them to be caregivers, but we are training them to be caregivers that can make a difference, who are knowledgeable, who can respond to certain aspects of care for older persons. We have trained them very well. They have been trained by internationally recognized geriatric specialists. I know that word geriatric is it's a tongue twister, but just means care for older persons. So they have been trained by experts, so they have the knowledge. On our home care program, we give the caregivers, we take them to the homes, and we offer very, very good services. We are proud of what we do. All the information that I have given about us, you can get it on our website. It's www.visitingangels.co.ke.